are celebrating Heroes in Service, joined by a remarkable Navy SEAL. He was the sole survivor of a mission in Afghanistan to kill a notorious Al-Qaeda leader, and he's written a best-selling book about it called Lone Survivor. Once again, Lone Survivor Service, a Navy SEAL at war. We are honored to be joined now by Luttrell. Marcus, thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Well, first, tell us a little bit about your story. You served in both Iraq and Afghanistan. It was there that you survived this attack. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, sir. The first book, Lone Survivor, is basically a debrief of what transpired on the mountain that day. It was, like you said, it was a special reconnaissance mission, capture kill, to go in and get a guy. My team, we went in, we got overrun, and it basically goes into detail about how all that transpired. It was the largest loss of life in Navy SEAL history as of then. And Service, the next book, the one that's out now, basically fills in the holes and answers a lot of questions that were left open from the first book due to classification or just things that I didn't know about or was, like unaware about and learn later. So that's kind of...
And from what I understand, the book also takes it a little bit farther, and you kind of think through this whole thing, and you talk about why members of the military do what they do, and why so few people numerically are willing to do this. What did you learn about that?
People I sat down with and people that I served with, and just the overall attitude and I guess the reasoning behind it was just people who were willing to give more to others than they were to themselves. It was just, everything was concentrated on the betterment of the country or for the team and not the individual. And anyone who's willing to give up everything and sacrifice everything they have for the betterment of, say, our country or the community or something like that is the perfect definition of service. And that's when it all boils down to it. And people ask me the question all the time, what do you miss most about it? And it's the camaraderie. It's the guys that I was with. You don't find that anywhere else. And I know that sounds, hard to believe, but it's the truth. I mean, friends come and go, but a true friend is a guy who's willing to die for you and die with you. He's not going to leave you when the bad situations come. That's the true definition of service.
And so, it's obvious that it takes a special person to do that, and I'm sure everybody does it for their own reason. What was your reason?
God and country. It's customary for all the men in my family to serve in the military, and that has been the way it was for generations back. My father would say, before you exploit this country, son, you're going to serve it in some form or fashion. I didn't have any idea what that meant when I was a kid. Obviously, I have a great understanding of what that means now. When I joined up, it was just to do my part, to give service, to give to her before I take from her, and it just grew. The longer I was in, the more I wanted it. I was pretty much, I think I was put on this planet to do that particular job. I was born to be, a full-time frogman, and I love it, and I miss it every day.
Yeah. Before we let you go, the window is just about out, but before we let you go, the battle that you survived in Afghanistan, Danny Dietz, he's a local SEAL, and he died in that battle, and he paid the ultimate sacrifice for his country. Talk a little bit about Danny.
Danny's a Littleton boy, and he was probably one of the best Navy SEALs that I ever had a chance to work with. We weren't on the same SEAL team together, but we'd come up through the ranks together and training together. One of the nicest guys I had ever met, and on that day fought harder than anybody and that I had ever seen before. I mean, he was wounded more than anybody. On the initial start of the fight, the fight lasted for about 3 hours as we were being overrun, and he wouldn't give it up. I mean, it was a true testament to his courage and his character. He died in my arms, so I was there with him till the last minute, and he never once, was afraid or thought, you know, there wasn't anything pouring out of him that he shouldn't have been there or anything like that. It was, you know, it was all business, all fight. So he was a great man. You know, I don't want to get into it too much detail. It starts to spin out of control. But he was a great guy, and he was one of y'all's.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that y'all remember that as well. It's he gets overlooked sometimes, but yeah, he's a great guy.
We are certainly proud of him, and we are certainly proud of you too. And it's been an honor to talk to you. And thank you so much, and best of luck with the book.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.